can start up. It might be too hot here, but let's see. Doable.
Yeah?
Yeah, doable.
Okay.
So, here we are. Get ready to talk about the Sunday shout out.
Yes.
The shout out was Pink Floyd this week.
Yep. Fearless.
Did the song Fearless. Of course, probably got a lot of Pink Floyd fans out there. Song has been performing really well for the first day. It's the number one video out of the past 10 that we've released.
I was going to say of the new year. I was like, yeah, there's two.
So, Pink Floyd, interesting thing about this song is that they never performed it live.
I found that really fascinating, but I also kind of understand it because it has some subtlety to it that even as an acoustic song, I would have pause playing it in a live set. We even talked about it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Why is that, you think?
because of the subtlety in it. It's got some really I don't know a different way to say it. Just subtle bits that really require keen listenership.
Yeah. So it's, I guess, like a lot of the sides. So it's on the album Pink Floyd Metal, and was never released as a single. Yet it's always interesting when things like this happen, like songs that album cuts that become really popular with the fan base.
Yeah.
To me, and like I'd known this song for quite some time, and I never really thought, a lot of people will say that it's the best song on metal for sure, but I never really considered myself an early Pink Floyd fan, like of pre like Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall,
See, I don't know
Animals.
the
The progression.
timeline. Yeah. So
So
where
this
did
was the
animals
album.
come? Where did animals
So
fall
this
and
would have
everything?
this metal would have been the album before Anim.
Okay.
And it was before. I get confused as to the order. Somebody can
Yeah,
straighten
I
me
have
out.
no idea.
But like, so they started going into these like themed albums, or what do they call
Concept
it?
albums.
Concept
Yeah.
albums where they had animals, they had the wall,
Mhm.
and to some extent, Dark Side of the Moon.
Mhm.
Um, but before that was metal, and so they'd been on a long, strange trip, so to speak. They had their founding member Sid Barrett just kind of like lost his mind and like was eventually replaced by David Gilmour, which was probably like one of the best things that happened to the band as far as like commercial success,
Right.
because Gilmour had like his songs. In fact, he actually sang this song, even though I believe Roger Waters like wrote a good chunk of it. Um, it was very good, for them in that type of success, like in as far as worldly success. Who would have knows where they'd have been without David Gilmour,
Right.
and fleshing that out. But the song almost made it onto
The greatest hit album,
Pink
right?
Floyd's
Yeah.
greatest hits,
Yeah.
but was never released as a single,
Well, also they
or
didn't play it live.
and they never played it live. So how,
So it's
like,
a
yeah,
relationship
so
that the
because sometimes
fans
it's like, right,
made
like
at
they
home.
make it like
Yeah.
they make it famous through their live show,
Right.
but in this case, no, they just had, I guess, just like unwavering fan support for this song through the years, and they kind of knew that it was like a fan staple and popular with fans.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
wonder if they got requests for it or something. I wonder if there was like they were getting feedback from the fans that they liked the song or they wanted them to play it live and they just didn't feel like they could give it that finesse.
I don't know. They said that. I don't know. I'm not really sure what it was. Like I also read accounts that of the song. There's kind of conflicting schedule because like they had conflicting accounts, I should say. Like David Gilmour, of course, was a guitar player, but like also Roger Waters is credited with playing guitar on the song and playing the open G part, which is the main part that I played in the shout out yesterday.
Yeah. Oh,
So I wonder if it was
by
just a
the
thing
way,
where like,
which by the way, for the shout out yesterday, It was a retro Sunday shout out going back
Oh
out
yeah,
to
right up.
D Noric guitars.
That's how we meant to
So
start this set.
yeah, well,
Start this.
we're
We're
learning
learning on the
as we
live.
go. Also, we wanted several of you to be on before we made the announcement to who it was
Speaking of
going
people
to.
being on, hello, Mark Johnson.
Hey.
Shout out, and Monica Calais. I don't know if I said that right. Maybe you can let me know. Um, Wolfgang Ricky, of course. Shout out to you.
Hey.
And shout out to Andrea. Let me see here. I'm gonna do this and see what happens.
Oh no, he's pushing buttons now. Oh, I can't even read it from over here.
So, no, Wolfgang Ricky, an Umaguma fan. He said, were you an Umaguma fan?" I was.
What's a
You know,
Numaguma?
Umaguma was actually a record by Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay.
So I was never really.
It sounds like a candy.
I was never really into early Pink Floyd.
Okay, now I need to go brush up because, see, I find that, and we talked about this on the live last time. I find that.
Oh, Meadowview Man joining us
Hey!
from Virginia, I believe.
Nice,
right?
yeah.
So good to see you.
I've derailed my own train of thought here.
You were saying.
I know songs, but I don't necessarily know their album or the name of the song. So I'm gonna have to go see if what's it, a Umaguma?
Umaguma.
Let's go. It's fun to say. Umaguma.
I will say that I tried to dive into the Sid Barrett part of Pink Floyd, and it was, for me, at the time when I tried it, of course, I was just getting into Pink Floyd, and I was really getting into Animals era and Dark Side of the Moon era, and to me, it was like diving into an empty swimming pool.
Oh, that sounds painful.
So
that sounds terrible.
It's kind of surprising, like how different it is pre Gilmore to me.
Okay, well that's actually a perfect segue though, because it took me a long time to come around to certain music, and the Grateful Dead was one of those music bodies that it took me a while to get a hold of, but once I did, I really, really loved it. And as many of you know, Bob Weir passed just yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't know. It feels like it's all melded together.
And that's why we're wearing.
We re-ponchoed up.
It's interesting that we ponchoed up, and then we had comments about Bob Weir wearing his poncho, and then he passed the next day.
I did not wear any cutoff shorts though.
So
that's
no,
just not,
we dropped the cutoff
shorts. Not my
shorts.
winter vibe.
And
another cat.
So what poncho in favor of Bob Weir, in honor of Bob Weir, and we will be definitely looking at this week doing a Bob Weir Grateful Dead related shout out in honor of his passing and in tribute to him. Well, so if you guys have, before we move on, if you guys have a Bob Weir song or Grateful Dead song that you think would be fitting in tribute, preferably a Bob Weir version, because we've done a lot of Jerry Garcia stuff.
We have.
But hit the comments with that for sure.
And I have another poncho waiting for me in the closet. So.
And I wanted to say welcome Jimmy Wells. Also, I wanted to say the name that I butchered. Monica Calais is actually pronounced Kill It, and it's Dutch, she says. So welcome, Monica.
I feel like that's like a really rock and roll name.
It is.
Monica, kill it.
Let's kill it.
Get it, girl. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
No, thank you for the help, because I never know, especially with people's handles, if it's their name. I feel so bad just even attempting some of the names, trying to give the shout out.
Jimmy Wells actually said no Daisy Dukes in honor of Bobby.
I mean, maybe come summertime, but not winter when it's 20 some odd degrees out in Tennessee. We had like this beautiful week last week where it was 60s, almost 70s. It was just like a beautiful week, and then it's just the bottom dropped out on us again.
I don't know, like if he's more iconic for the Daisy Duke cutoff jeans, or what about he wore the Farrah Fawcett shorts too, like the ones that had like the they were like a solid color with the white piping around, and they would have the cut up the leg.
See,
like
I always
V.
thought
I don't know what they called those.
Those are like aerobic shorts. Like I would have said like Richard Simmons shorts.
Really?
Yeah.
I picture them as more Farrah Fawcett or Sally Fields shorts
for
some reason.
They're aerobic shorts, I believe. They're running shorts, I think. But I don't know that he ever really ran.
Looks Like Rain is on offer as a Bobby Weir song. Has the strangest song. So we actually talked about doing that next week, and we've actually had it on our list for quite some time. And then we said, do we really want to do this? Like, I don't know. Like, one of the strangest lyrics to sing would have to be
Have you ever heard the sound of street cats making love?
I think, to be honest, I probably put it on the list just because I wanted to hear you sing that line.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that actually has been on the list for some time. I think that might have been a holdover from Rust days because I'm pretty sure he had the same thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. There's two songs that come to mind like that. I love Bobby with all my heart, and I love just about everything he did. But there was times, and if you're a Bobby fan, you know this, that he would.
Caterwaul.
Well, I wouldn't even say
That's
that.
what we
That's
called
more
it.
what we
That
call
was
Donna.
Donna.
But like,
Yeah.
we would
It was
say.
mostly with her there
I
though.
was I was trying to put it politely. Like he would overestimate his range. You know
Oh,
what I mean? So there was two songs that I think he particularly did that with. One was "Feels Like
feels
Rain,"
like rain.
but then another one that I thought he did that was "Lost Sailor." And I
I
think
don't
also
know that's
that's a be.
so
I
I
think
mean,
that both songs could be very beautiful with the right voice.
I don't necessarily, not to argue with you. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that it's an overestimation of the ability of his range or just let's see what happens tonight. More of an experimental spirit, I think, cuz they were big into experimentation.
I
So,
mean, yeah, like the live thing. They were just trying to keep it live.
well, they change things all the time too. So maybe he was just experimenting with what note he wanted to put there tonight cuz they changed
Well,
tempos, they changed all kinds of
in
feels.
all fairness, and like Donna Jean Godchild was one of the Swampers, so like, and she had studio quality voice, and like she got knocked a lot for being off key, but we got to keep in mind that really the Grateful Dead was at the pioneering age of sound
Sound
systems.
systems,
And the
yeah.
ability to hear yourself on any given night wasn't always there.
Especially if you
Yeah.
have a wall of sound behind you, just pumping sound through your bones.
Literal
And
wall of sound.
you're trying to hear your partner in melody, right? So you're
Hmm.
trying to make a harmony with somebody that you have no hope of hearing over just the vibration of sound, because if you guys have ever been on a stage, there's a difference to hearing a tone and feeling a tone in your whole body. If you've been to a big concert, you've felt the bass or even the kick drum like reverberating through your bones literally. So if you're in front of the sound, that sound is coming at you, it's really hard to find your note in the middle of all that.
Metaview, man, was clarifying for us. Like, and actually, it's funny as you were saying those very things. Jimmy was actually saying that, and you got to keep in mind, guys. Sorry, we're on a little bit of a lag. So, and you may be on a bit of a lag too. So, I'm not really sure how that all comes out.
I'm for sure on a
You're
lag.
saying he was saying that she actually could not hear herself because of the wall of sound. That
Yeah,
was well,
I mean, it's
well
documented.
known.
Well,
And
when you hear the studio cuts, oh, what a gorgeous harmony that they lay down together, and I actually really enjoy her tone and her voice. She's lovely. So I never had any issue just on the live recordings where you knew that they couldn't hear each other.
mhm,
Give a little grace. Move along.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times that she nails it. There's times that they all nail it,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and it's definitely part of the magic. And I don't want to get too sidetracked on the Grateful Dead because I'm sure we're going to end up talking about them a lot next week
Yeah.
with doing the Grateful
Yeah.
Dead cover. But Metaview Man was kind enough to let us know Metal was their sixth studio album,
Holy cow.
and then it was
I got
Dark Side of the
homework.
Moon was eighth, and Animals was 10th. So that means The Wall would have had to been the ninth album, I would
Okay.
believe. So
So has anybody else ever watched
so that means they had
Dark Side of
another
the Moon
album
with
though.
Wizard of Oz though? Has anybody else done that? I'm
Dark
curious
Side of the
to
Moon
know.
with the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It's a good watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Will you
I,
hand me my tea?
so I'm pretty sure that anybody that's a Pink Floyd
Please.
fan probably has done that, but I don't know. They'll have to let us know
Thank you.
on their own. Um, so let's see. So Metal was their sixth album. Dark Side of the Moon was their eighth. Animals 10th. So The Wall had to be the ninth, I believe. But what would have been their seventh album?
I mean, I have the Google
Echoes.
machine if you want it, but it's
Echoes.
kind of fun just to
That's my guess.
and get.
So, yeah. Jimmy Wells just added on and said that she couldn't hear herself because of the wall sound, no monitors.
Right.
So, Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
it's amazing too, like to loop back around to the Dead for just a second. What
No, Dead. We're talking about Pink
I'm
Floyd,
sorry,
lady.
but what a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing that they created in community, and what a beautiful atmosphere that they made, and how wonderful it is that we have all the recordings to
Oh my
complain
lord, I know,
about.
right?
Like we complain about the little they couldn't hear themselves, or they were caterwauling. What what a gift that we can go back and
So,
complain about
a
these
friend of
things.
mine said to me about like 10 years ago. He said, "Do you think that what do you think Jerry Garcia would have thought about?" He knew that every single note he played was recorded, and but what do you think that he would have thought about it being discussed about for years and years after his
Right.
death? Like, hey,
That one song about you at Foxborough when
Sacramento
that yeah,
'77,
yeah, yeah.
or
I was
whatever,
there. I was
Cornell,
there.
you know.
Well, and doing a little bit of research too there, they just touch so many people and generationally. I read one guy's comment on one of these songs that he was like, I was listening to a certain song, a certain version of a certain song, as one does as a Deadhead,
Hmm.
and in the comment section there was a person, I don't know their gender, it didn't matter. They said my mom was a big Deadhead. I was at that show and 10 days later I was born.
That's kind of cool.
So like their mom rather took went very pregnant to a Dead
I
show.
think it would be remiss if we didn't, like, talk about the juxtaposition of these two bands because
Pink Floyd and the Grateful
Pink
Dead.
Floyd and the Grateful Dead, you have
Very psychedelic.
two iconic psychedelic juggernauts,
Yeah,
and you have
that's fair.
completely different approaches. You
Absolutely.
have nothing scripted with the Grateful Dead,
And almost
absolutely nothing,
composed
and
with
almost and like we get up.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it is literally composed, and it's I don't know if you know this or not, but David Gilmour was an engineer.
I did not. That makes so
So
much sense. Yes.
but you think of his guitar solos, iconic, composed ahead of time,
Mm.
in the studio and replicated often note for note. And a lot of times they would have to be because of the theatrics that went
Yes.
on stage
Oh, because they
behind
had
it.
the
They had
whole
the
show that went
wall,
with it. That's
they
right.
had the
Yeah.
different things going on.
Yeah.
I never saw either of these bands in completion, but was happy to see parts of them
Bits of
each.
band.
I saw
Yeah.
Roger Waters put on the wall, and I saw the other ones, which were Grateful Dead's minus Jerry Garcia.
Yeah. And
And
we saw Phyllis and
we
Friends,
saw Phil and
which was
Friends,
epic. Yeah.
and other things of that nature,
Iterations of the band.
iterations.
Yeah.
So but I just sitting here thinking, how different could they be?
Yeah.
And also two of the most iconic guitar players of all time.
Fair.
You know, and I don't know how you would rank one against the other. I would possibly say, I mean, I'm a huge Grateful Dead fan, but I would say that David Gilmour probably wrote the most iconic guitar solo of all time in Comfortably Numb.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that are not musicians that if you said, could you hum that solo, they could at least get you started or close.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, it's like iconic is the word. It's really
Yeah.
and beautiful and
Maybe
haunting.
maybe the greatest guitar solo ever.
At the same time, like you said, the juxtaposition with the Grateful Dead, they were creating new material every time they took a stage. And
Hmm.
I find that endearing and personable and just so very human.
Yeah.
I love it.
The challenge and the struggle night to night. I think there's a beauty in the risk taking,
Mhm.
and there's a beauty but there's also a beauty in the of creating art so impressionable that you can go and perform it night after night and people wouldn't get sick of it. Like,
Yeah.
where it's like, man, I would pay. I love bands that jam, I do,
Yeah.
and I very often get disappointed when I hear bands that sound just like the record. I've heard Pink Floyd, and they're not that.
Okay.
It's like,
Well, I think that the show gives it a little something too because they are giving you a visual to go with the audio.
well, the thing of it is like
Am I wrong?
it's the same problem. So here's the clarification, and like this is might be a little long-winded, but I'll try to keep it succinct. So the reason I don't like a lot of tribute bands is because they're only, in my opinion, most of them are now Grateful Dead tribute bands are a little different because they get the concept. I'm just gonna jam. It's not gonna be like something specifically off of a Grateful Dead record. But a lot of tribute bands, their goalpost, if you will, the tribute band's goalpost is the record. Like for
To
instance,
note for note,
note for note, like the record, sound as close to the record
as
as you can.
and even the vocalist to
How
be as close to sounding as the original
now when I
vocalist.
heard the Eagles, I was disappointed when I saw them on their Hell Freezes Over tour because I felt like I could have listened to the record or seen a tribute band. They were the Eagles and they played their music note for note, and
Did they
it was really good.
karaoke themselves?
With the exception of the Joe Walsh songs, he really brought us something a little extra. However, with Roger Waters and the Pink Floyd that I've heard recordings of, it's like they're beyond the record. You hear them, and it's like Pink Floyd live, like Pink Floyd plus. You know what I mean?
So
It's like
let me
it's
ask you
like they
this.
elevate their own level to like a new
Let
high.
me ask you this. Do you think that's solely the music or the show, or do you think that also has to do with being in a venue with a mass amount of people that have a relationship or a
I think it's a
love for
culmination
that
of a lot
music?
of things. Honestly, I think it's
Because it's almost
I
like
think
tribal.
it's like what people would call an X factor that like launches to the next level, but almost like an X factor as a band. Because certainly the Eagles had it with Don Henley, they had it with Joe Walsh, they had X factors. But I thought that their show was, and this was at a very young and impressionable age, like 18 or 19. I found their concert to be very dull, you know, whereas and at the time I didn't identify it. I thought it was just because they were just playing the music as it was written, you know.
Right.
But for whatever reason, like Pink Floyd can do that,
Well,
and they sound epic, you know.
I think too that has to do with you, like you say, your personal taste. Because I think some people they go to a concert and they want to hear the things that are familiar. We've talked at length about tribute bands, though.
Yeah, you know, and like the tribute bands, they only ever get to the record. They don't go into the next stratosphere like the actual artist can sometimes do.
So, question for you though: Grateful Dead tribute bands.
Hmm. I mean,
Do they
there's
try
a
to
lot of them on the
do?
national stuff.
I'm just wondering. Do they try to do specific tours? Do they try to do studio cuts, or are they just trying to encapsulate the spirit of the dead and not necessarily sound like them, like a traditional tribute band?
I think that so they're trying to capture more the essence of the band,
That's kind of
and
what I
there's a lot
think
of them
too.
out there. I mean, you could even say a lot of people would say that Dead and Company was a tribute band.
I mean,
It had Bob Weir in
okay.
it, but and it had the two drummers for a time, but didn't have the original bass player, didn't have the original keyboard player, didn't have the original lead guitar player.
It's wild
So
that the drummers are the last men standing there.
yeah, it's kind of wild. It is surreal because I feel like my life has almost been like it's like there's been I've lived a whole life in between the passing of Jerry and Bobby.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I remember losing Jerry when I was in my early 20s, or maybe even
I
19.
lost Jerry before I knew about Jerry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you know Bob Weir. Here it is, like almost is it 30 years later? Seems like it's close to it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Tell me some of the comments. I can't read
so
them.
alrighty. So we got let me see. Oh, this thing's small. Money is baseline, super remarkable and
Yeah,
rememberable. I think the roots of Pink Floyd and the Dead were so different that it affected the difference in the bands. That's a good point, Jimmy Wells.
yeah,
You know, the bands are where they come from, right? And what
yeah.
they listen to, just like what we listen to, is going to affect what we play. I think that
Well, it's kind of
that's a
like
very good point.
they're both trees, but they're different types of trees. So this one makes apples and that one makes oranges, and they don't grow in the same soil, and they need different kinds of weather and everything. But they're both trees, though. They both make really beautiful, lovely music, but the fruit looks different.
We got welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's Randy Pinball.
All
It's
right.
Randy Pinball. I know a couple of Randys. I don't know which Randy this is,
Well,
but
welcome.
he
So
said
glad you joined us.
said that Skinnerd, Freebird, and Floyd's "Comfortably Numb" are my favorite songs. Two favorites. Or
Okay.
favorites.
All right.
Um, let's see.
I think Freebird's a
Andrea
beautiful
says yes, of
song.
course, comfortably numb. Wolfgang Ricky said hearing Ashley Bell out Brain Damage live is magical. One of my favorite covers. I love to hear her sing.
Oh, thank you.
Um, Monica, kill it. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I know every time now.
Oh, I was just
Kill
gonna say it. Monica, kill it. All right. So back to reality. I've been to so many concerts I can't remember them. I was so lucky. My friend got tickets to all the concerts. You
That's
know,
amazing.
isn't
Yeah,
that amazing? Like, golly,
it's like a different era of
we could go to
concert going
concerts for
too.
like $10. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
sometimes
just the thing
five.
you went and go to go do. Like you would go to a concert or a movie, and they were like around the same.
I mean, I remember seeing Bob Dylan and Carlos Santana in concert together on a tour where they would take
Rude.
turns opening for each other.
Rude. That's just rude to
and the
mention.
and the ticket price was $18.50, and that was in the, I'm not gonna say,
Early
but probably
90s.
'90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, golly, there was some
I
really
mean,
great concerts out there.
iconic.
Now
Yeah.
it's like the artists. I mean, like the artists that I want to see are like hundreds of dollars a lot of
Yeah.
times.
And they
Even
don't have a lot of say over what
even
those
for
ticket prices go for either.
yeah, even for large regional acts, small nationals, like the pricing is getting to be just like out of
A lot.
control.
Yeah.
And it's
It's a
like, but
lot.
yet it's so funny because to me, people will complain about a $10 ticket to see a local artist, but they'll drop 150, or
400.
or 1,000 to see the Stones or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
maybe it's just the risk. Let's see. So much affordable, yeah, so much more affordable to see the live band back then. I saw Shimmy Wells is like putting us all to shame. Ready for this?
Yeah.
He said, I saw the Rolling Stones and Stevie Wonder in '73 for, do you want to guess how much money he paid?
No.
$6.50.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I bet it was epic.
$6.50. That won't even get you two Gatorades at the gas station anymore.
No. And that's on sale. Speaking of on sale.
Speaking of on sale.
On sale. We know we lured you here with the promise
We lured you here.
a merch deal. So we are running a merch deal tonight. During our live. If you go, and it can go, you don't have to go right now. You can go after the live. It's good for this evening. That cutoff is this
tonight
evening,
only, though.
Tonight
it does
only.
cut off tomorrow.
It's just for you guys.
And it's on a timer, so I can't stop it.
Who are here watching our live. We want to give you a special incentive for being here. We want to give you a gift to show you our thanks and our gratitude. If you want to pick up merch, you can go to our merch store at SugarLimeBlue.com and put in code LIVE112. That's all capital. LIVE112.
For the date, for
it's
January
live
12th.
Today.
Yep.
So make sure it's all caps when you check out. That is your discount code, and it will give you 15% off whatever you put in your cart tonight.
15% off.
Yes. So thank you for joining us, and we want it. That's just our little gift to you to say thank you for being here. And we try to keep our stuff as affordable as possible because we would rather that you have our music, our gear, and you're enjoying it, rather than us have it in storage somewhere and you not being enjoying it, but we get more money when you buy it.
If it was me, I'd get one of those Ashley Beth handmade tie-dyes.
I do have tie-dyes, and I do make them all.
And then we never put those on sale. They're a lot of work, and they look really good.
They are. They're great. I enjoy doing them. We do have long sleeves of those that just came out this last year. So if you are in a place that is getting the Arctic dip this week, maybe long sleeve for you. So
cool. Oh yeah. I never had to pay back in the day. I almost choked when I saw today's prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yeah, and that doesn't even, like, where we are, we're right outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and so we do have some epic acts that come through.
We do.
And they play
and
at the
sometimes on the lowdown, too.
Yeah. Sometimes
we can get in there kind of cheap sometimes and affordable.
However, if you go to the Ryman can be extremely affordable sometimes, but the parking anywhere close by, you're going to pay as much as the ticket price to park there for the entirety of your concert. So if you don't want to leave early, just plan on paying $50-$60 to park. So wild.
So we had a couple people say Comfortably Numb was their favorite Pink Floyd song, but I'd like to know what everybody's favorite Pink Floyd song is. What's your favorite Pink Floyd song? You got one?
I don't know. I would have to think about it. Once again, I would just say Fearless because that's the most recent one. I really enjoy songs that I build a relationship with. So I do very much enjoy Brain Damage. I love Breathe. And we play those
We put
fairly
both of those
regularly.
fairly on one or the other.
So those I've created a relationship
Hmm.
with. So I've internalized the lyrics. I feel them a little different, a little deeper.
I've had several through the ages. So the first song, and I'm gonna exclude "Comfortably Numb" because that's always been there. It's always been great. It's
I
always
would
epic.
say outside of that though, Wish You Were Here.
Wish you were here.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's got just a
It's
beautiful
it
melancholy to it.
does.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they have so many great songs.
Mhm.
It's like hard to pick one, right? But so my first would have been "Run Like Hell." I really like. I love the just the transitions in the song. I thought were so powerful to me, and
Okay.
I really like the arena rock quality to it. I
Okay.
think as
Yeah.
a young man, you know,
Yeah.
later on, not later on, like
Early on.
fairly early on, but shortly after that, and still a front runner for probably my one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs of all time would be "Time."
Okay.
I think it's just such a great, well written song,
Okay.
you know, and I think the lyrics are just super. But I don't know, it's so hard for me to pick my next one because it would either be dogs or pigs. Really, the whole
Okay.
Animals
Animals as a
album.
whole. It's hard to
But,
pick from a concept album, I feel, because it
but I think it's
is
probably
a whole
pigs.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's really. I mean, that album. Just some of the guitar work that David Gilmour does on that album, I just feel like, even to this day when I listen to it, I feel like it's just some of the greatest guitar playing ever recorded.
So, question: when was it that Gilmore came in? Like over the body of work for Pink Floyd.
I think he
When
came in right before
did he come in for
this
metal?
album,
It was
possibly.
before metal.
Yeah, yeah. That's well. He sings it.
I mean,
He sings
before
this
it.
song that we did.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but before metal.
I
I'm
believe
saying like
so.
when. What is the one there? Or
Well,
was metal the
it
first one?
wasn't after.
Was this the first one? Was my. Y'all see what I deal with?
It wasn't after. It
I
had to
know
be
it
before.
wasn't after. No, but was this the first one? Was metal the first one he was.
You're so cute.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir. Were there
Yeah.
5 whole
So
albums before he came on
I think it
scene?
was just prior to this one, but I also want to say that he came in maybe one
I
before
just kind
this.
of wonder if he came in like hard, having sort of something to prove. I don't know. Or if he felt the
I don't know.
ability to just
I've
be
heard all sorts
open.
of stories about like him joining the band. Like I know that they played together for a while. Like Sid Barrett and Gilmore were both on stage, and then one night in the middle of the show, Sid Barrett just walked off stage and didn't come back. And then there was like some things that had to be handled after that. But like it's really quite a sad story. And at one time I knew it better than I do
I
now.
don't know
But
it at all.
so the Barrett story in a nutshell is that he, and I don't know like if this is 100% true. So maybe somebody that's like was more part of this culture and during that
The
time would
scene, yeah.
know. But I heard that basically, to put it in a nutshell, he dropped too much acid and just kind of separated himself from reality.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like and I don't know if it was like a cumulative thing. I think it was like, well, for sure it was a cumulative thing, but I don't know if it was the tipping point was just like one time too much or if
Yeah.
it was like an excessive time, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, while a lot of people make a lot of arguments for opening your mind and things of that nature, there is a danger with acid that you can possibly separate yourself
Like just
from reality.
separate your body from your mind.
I mean,
It's a great
right?
it's a great song though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Greasy
that's a great
Granny,
song.
Les Claypool
So,
with Warren Haynes
anyways, we
specifically.
got, let's see, pick three different ones. Us and Them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
It's
couple.
a little too on the nose right now.
Andrea saw Adele at the cannery for $20. And
What?
she was taking pictures of the
Man.
crowd to send her mom from stage. That's amazing.
I bet that was a great show.
Yeah, also correct, hoodies are warm.
Yeah,
Hoodies are warm.
I was just saying ponch.
Um,
Yeah, hoodies are warm. I was just thinking ponchos are
oh
warm.
man, welcome I can't even say it. Slarty Bart Fast 77. I don't know. I'm even gonna try that. 777.
We need the phonetic spelling, please.
Slarty Bart
I
Fast.
can't see it from here, so
It
I can't
says
even help.
he said, and he might be right. The correct answer for the greatest Pink Floyd song of all time is "Shine On You Crazy Diamond."
That's a great song.
Oh, it's a great
You
song.
ain't wrong.
Man, that's so
You ain't
good.
wrong. And
And
I
it
would
checks
also
all the
say,
boxes. Great guitar solo, great vocals, great everything. And it's a tribute. A lot of people will say it's a tribute to Sid Barrett.
oh,
So it is a great song. There's a
dang,
lot. There's a lot.
that gives it a little different depth too. I would say also like great gig in the sky, but as a vocalist, just to listen to, not to emulate, just to listen to and kind of feel the rawness of
Okay, so there's one song
that
that
moment.
is sung by a non member of Pink Floyd. And so, do you know? Can you name another song that was
No,
actually sung by a non-member
no.
of
Why
Pink
do you
Floyd?
keep putting me on the spot?
It's
Rude.
actually a really well-known hit.
Okay,
Like,
what
so,
is it?
well, I don't know if it's hit in my mind, and it's actually was one of my favorite Pink Floyds. I do the same thing with Pink Floyd that I did with the Grateful Dead, where I have a new favorite
I
all the
know.
time, and then I
Yeah.
wear it out until I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And it was "Have a Cigar."
Okay. Yeah.
So it was actually sung by
You told me once upon a time, and I don't remember.
Roy. Golly, it's it's Roy Harper. Not Roy Harper.
Help us out, chat.
Help us out, chat.
Was it
So
Roy?
anyway, so he was in the
This
studio.
Roy fella.
He was in the studio, and so the reason we got to this because "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," Roger Waters says that he blew out his voice singing that song,
And I could see like how
and
you could
that
overdo it for sure.
he couldn't do "Have a Cigar." Like
Hmm.
he just couldn't do it. He tried. They did several takes. It wasn't working out. It's well known that there was already infighting inside of Pink Floyd at this point. And I'm gonna say Roy Harper. You guys answer me yet? No. So
No, there's lag. Don't
Roy
forget
Hart
there's lag.
he came in and did the song and recorded the vocals, and then it's said that later on, because uh, they asked Roger if it was okay. Like David and some of the other people wanted to finish it up, and they asked him if it was okay if Roy Harper sang it, and he acquiesced. And he said, "Yeah." And I don't know that there was much debate or fight over it. But then later on, he did say that he regretted not just taking the time to sing it himself, and that he kind of that was one of the regrets that he had in
Right.
music was that he didn't sing that song. So that's interesting. Man, what are we here? We got a question. Um, y'all dig Thin Lizzy? Do
Thin
you know?
Lizzy. Give me
So
songs.
Thin Lizzy, the song that you're gonna know is "The Boys Are Back in Town." Boys are back in town.
Okay, yeah, I can get down with that. I don't know what else. What else is it?
Did they do "Smoking in the Boys' Room"? I think so.
I
The
mean,
original
so
version.
like that wasn't stuff that was
They had a
on.
great guitar player, Gary Moore, and
Yeah.
I liked his solo career quite a bit. He was
I
another
don't know that.
iconic player.
I haven't created a relationship with Thin Lizzy, so I'm not gonna put them down. I'm not gonna raise them up till I have a chance to like sit down and give a good listen.
Metaview Man says his favorite song is "Wish You Were Here," but "The Whole Dark Side of the Moon" is one epic song. Gilmore joined in '67, and then it's Randy Pinball. Where was your first concert you have ever been to? My parents forced me to see Donnie Marie at the Hollywood Bowl in the '70s, and I have never recovered. My first concert was BB King and at Hampton Beach Casino in Hampton, Massachusetts.
Okay, so my thinking on it, like my very first official concert.
It's got to be somebody we know though, not some like.
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
Okay.
so hold on, because I did go there, and I remember this recently. There was a friend of our family that was a musician when I was really young, and all I can remember was he had this song called Romance, and we had like this little cassette tape. It was a mixtape of some of his songs that they had recorded at one of his shows, and my little girl self really enjoyed him. So his concert was the first one in my memory, but I was like 4 or 5, so that's not even. Um, but my first official concert, Dave actually took me on a date to go see Santana. So
I know how to score points for the ladies. What you kidding?
I didn't know really what I was missing. So
Yeah, that was
yeah,
epic. That was pretty epic.
yeah, it was pretty epic.
So back to Roy Harper for a minute. So
It was a Harper. Did we
yeah,
find out?
I think Met of You
Thank you.
got my
Thanks
back
for the
on that
help.
one. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Got my back. So Roy Harper, like I was talking with Russ once, and it's funny because we were talking about this song, and we were talking about like have a cigar, much like we are now, and
Mhm.
I think we're pretty much covered all the same bases. But then I was like, who the hell is Roy Harper anyway? And he's like, I can't remember if he said it or I said it. We were like, I don't know. He's got to be pretty damn cool though, because he said not only did he sing "Have a Cigar," but Zeppelin wrote a song called "Hats Off to Roy Harper."
What?
Yeah,
I was not there for this
yeah.
conversation.
So like, and it's the one and the same. As far as we understood it and understand it, and as far as I understand it today, it's one and the same Roy Harper. Roy Harper that sang "Have a Cigar." Roy Harper that Led Zeppelin wrote "Hats Off to Roy Harper." Yeah. So, and I would agree with the sentiment that we had at the time, whether it was he or I that said it. He must have been pretty damn
Yeah,
cool.
I guess.
I mean, first of all, you're in the studio. Like, we never heard of him today, right? I mean, I don't know who this guy is, but he's in a studio. Pink Floyd knows who he is, and
Right.
they let him sing lead vocals on a song. Led Zeppelin knows who he is. They wrote a song about him.
Okay.
I think maybe
Time for a
I don't
deep
know.
dive.
I wonder if he was like a local legend or local hero
I
type of
mean, I
underground.
think it's
You
time
know,
to
like
go
maybe like a
find
big
him.
star type of situation.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. So, got to see Ozzy backstage passes. I
Nice.
didn't go backstage
No?
because my friend's name was not spelled correctly.
Oh,
Oh,
you're a good friend
oh.
because your name was spelled correctly,
Yeah, could
huh?
have went, but then I
Yeah.
don't know. There's
Yeah, no,
lots of shady stuff going on back then.
that's a good friend and probably better for your health. Probably better for your health. Yeah.
My first concert was Black Sabbath and RJD Mob Rules Tour. I was 11 years old. That's Sardi Bart Fest. I'll tell you a quick story about Black Sabbath. So they were another concert I saw early on. They not with Ozzy, but it was Black Sabbath with I believe Dio was singing with them. Ronnie James Dio, he was like an also an '80s legend heavy metal singer
I was a latecomer to
for
Black Sabbath. Thank you. Thank you.
and but they still had Tony Iommi. Here's the parallel to the Grateful Dead. Can you guess what Tony
Stop
Iommi?
asking me
Sorry,
questions.
if you guys know what's the parallel between Tony Iommi and Jerry Garcia. I'm gonna let's see if they can answer it. Somebody will answer it. Anyways, saw Tony Iommi, and I loved the show. And Black Sabbath was actually opening for the band Motorhead.
Okay.
Motorhead
I remember this.
Do you
Yeah.
know Motorhead at all? You
Yeah.
ever heard of them?
Yeah.
They have a lead singer, Lenny Kilmeister, and Lemmy. I'm sorry, Lemmy Kilmeister.
Mhm.
Not as cool as Kill It, but
Lemmy's the one
close.
that wrote "Mama, I'm Coming Home" for Ozzy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So there's a thing. Good tie-in. And that's a very unknown fact that
We
Lemmy was
we talked
actually
about it.
quite the
When we did the
songwriter.
song.
He was quite the raw songwriter and actually wrote a lot of songs for other people, including Mama I'm Coming Home for Ozzy, tie into the chat.
Yeah.
It's cool having other people here because there's so many tie-ins, you know. But
Not that I don't like just chatting with you, but I
right,
am enjoying the live.
the
Yes.
Lemmy Kilmeister Motorhead concert I went to had to be the loudest concert I've ever been to in my entire life.
I remember you saying.
And I was a
Yeah.
young person. I didn't mind loud music. Black Sabbath was plenty loud, but we're talking about a 400 or 500 seat casino, a ballroom, okay, and packed full of Motorhead fans. I'm
Mhm.
talking like if you know Motorhead fans, you don't know rock and roll like evangelists until you seen
Motorhead
Motorhead
fans.
fans, and I'm talking like they are yelling for him to turn down. They're not. It wasn't
Yeah.
really him,
Yeah.
maybe as much as the sound guy. The yelling for him to turn it down, and basically Lemmy wasn't having any of it, and he was like, "It was too loud. You're a
Don't say it.
and you're a this and you're a that," and fingers were flying,
Oh
and
no.
nobody was leaving. It was just riling the crowd even more, and it was a rock and
I wonder
roll.
if it was a gimmick.
I don't know, but it was. I left. I couldn't.
Too loud.
I honestly thought that my ears were gonna pop. I was scared that my eardrums were gonna bust. And I listened to probably about 4 or 5 songs on the steps of the building on the way outside, and I could hear it just
Wow.
plenty fine. I stayed inside for about 4 songs, and that night I regretted it. My ears were pounding so bad, and I
Yeah.
felt bad for the. I felt bad for the people that might have been under the influence of alcohol and did, and then
You
woke up
can't
the next
gauge it.
morning and couldn't
Yeah.
gauge it and woke up the next morning and were maybe like regretting life
Yikes.
choices
Yeah.
because I know for a fact that if I would have stayed for that show, I probably would have suffered hearing loss to some degree.
Well, let me say to you guys too, and we're not sponsored by anybody, but we're open to it. But I would highly recommend something like Heroes, where
Yeah.
it can lower the for you concert goers, you concert makers. It lowers the decibel level, but it keeps it clean. So it's an earplug, but it doesn't completely block the sound. So it doesn't make it sound muffled. You're still getting the full sound. It's just diminished volume, so you can kind of control your own volume from wherever you've sat. Because I really enjoy being able to see the artist, but that generally puts you a little closer to the speakers, which can impair your hearing. And as musicians, as concert goers, hearing's important. We want to be able to continue to hear good music after the
Good
concert.
public service
So,
announcement.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm gonna say
that's just
I'm just
me.
gonna catch us up on the chat so that we're not leaving anybody in the dust. Jimmy Wells said, "I have a sticker on my truck that says I may be old, but I got to see all the good bands." You
Yeah,
know,
no lie.
how true is that,
No
right?
lie.
For sure. Wolfgang Ricky's first actual concert was Peaches and Herb. My Aunt Linda Okay, you're gonna have to tell me their hit song because I don't think I can name that off the top of my head. My Aunt Linda wanted to go with us to Hershey Park because they were performing free as part of admission
We've
that
been
day.
there. We've been
Been to
Hershey
Hershey
Park.
Park. Meadowview Man first concert George Harrison Dark Horse tour with Ravi Shankar. That would have been
Ooh,
a great one. So
ooh.
in fact, another little tie-in. George Harrison. I just for my birthday in December 17th.
In
In case
case
anybody
anybody's
wants
keeping
to know,
track.
keeping track, and wants to you know buy me a T-shirt off our
Cheez-Its.
website or
Yeah,
something,
he really likes Cheez-Its.
or donate to my my
Growing older fund.
growing older fund, bourbon fund slash
Oh yeah,
actually pay the mortgage fund.
yeah.
So, but for my birthday, I got the All Things Must Pass a triple album,
Yes,
which we recently
you did.
did. We recently cover a song off of that too.
Isn't it a pity?
Isn't
It
it a
hasn't been
pity?
too long. Yeah,
So, I really love the album.
it's a great
I was a
album.
sleeper. I was a sleeper on George Harrison, and I just really love that album.
It's really
But
good.
more on that in the future. Andrea Forte says, "Never play music with trivia with Dave."
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah, that ain't nothing though. Like when we get me and my good friend,
You
um,
get Louie, you get Slice involved.
oh Slice, and
You get
I was
Carter
thinking Mike
involved.
Adams,
You get
but
Mike Adams
oh my lord,
involved. And if Russ was ever in the room, I
man,
mean,
between the two or three of us,
whew,
we'd probably win any music trivia. Monica, kill it. Fresh Rock concert
we can't
was
help
hard.
ourselves.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
I'm
If
sorry.
it gets annoying, just tell me to shut up. I probably won't, but you can tell me anyway. Monica, kill it. My first rock concert was Heart. Guitar player was my
Oh,
aunt's neighbor. Oh, that must have been.
nice.
I
How
really liked
epic
it.
for
If that was their
you.
first guitar player, first of all, I love that for you. But the first guitar player was, he was like, to me, like he was the reason why Heart was great. And then after he left, it was really kind of turned into the love ballad thing that they did in the '80s, which I'm not going to go into depth with because I can rail against that for hours. Um, Wolfgang, Ricky, Nancy Wilson blew me away. How good she is watching her live. Welcome. Capital W Y Y L. I will. Hi everyone.
I
I'm
will.
very grateful to meet you in your channel. Hi from Brazil. Hi
Hi.
from Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Uh,
Small world.
Reunited was the song Peaches and Herb. Is that the one that goes
Reunited
United
and
and
it
it
feels
feels so
so good.
good?
Is that the
I
one?
think
Yeah.
that might be the one.
If not, I'm just gonna be disappointed.
Andy Bass says, "Hi y'all, I'm watching."
Hey,
Hey
hey,
Andy.
Uncle Andy.
So we don't one thing that I wanted to talk about was is we were thinking about playing some live music for some of these lives or doing a live show stream.
Yeah,
So that's
not the
something
chat.
that's
Separate from the
something to keep
chat.
on the docket. But what happens is if we play live music or if we play um, even just one song or part of a song that's longer than 30 seconds, then YouTube's gonna hammer us,
Yeah,
and
unless it's an
it'll
original.
take away like all of our monetization on the chats, which ain't necessarily a problem as long as if we had enough people watching for a show and people are willing to do things like maybe Venmo
Do like a tip jar
or
kind of a
tip jar type of
situation. Yeah.
situation, then we can definitely explore doing some live and like
Yep.
maybe even trying some requests for
Yeah. No,
people.
we can do just
Roger Fisher, that's the man that I was trying to come up with. Good one, Met of You.
Roger
Sorry.
Fisher for
Yeah,
what?
he was the guitar player for Heart. My
Oh,
bad.
oh,
Sorry.
oh! I was like, I don't even know. I lost the stream there.
That's exactly right, Monica Killett.
What'd she say?
She said that Roger left Heart and then they went to Lovey Dovey for her, and some of that was the songwriting. I believe that they did. If they didn't do one,
I mean, their name
they
was
did
Hart.
I'm pretty sure they did a Dionne Warren
It's
song.
Hart.
If not, then that's Dionne Warren is the one that wrote like some of the Lovey Dovey stuff for Aerosmith, and you
Wait, is she
recognize
the
other
lady
songs that
that's
she wrote.
never been in love, but she
She
writes
one time
about
claimed
love?
in an interview, like, so she's probably one of the most famous songwriters of all times of love songs and power
Yeah,
ballads and
yeah,
love
yeah.
ballads, and she claims that she's never actually experienced love
You know what?
herself.
She's a fantastic author then, because yeah, she kind of captures the mood.
She does.
I
So
think. But what I was saying though is we can do a live show that is solely originals and not get dinged by YouTube.
now
So
let's look at dinged because
by us?
yeah, because like our
Oh, I thought it was.
distribution. No, because the distribution is the one that dings it. So our distribution goes through like a distribution agency, and they're
Well,
gonna track it and they'll find us. So
okay.
they would ding it. The money would probably mostly come back to us in a round thing. But what we should we're definitely looking at doing a live show
Yeah,
with
for sure.
covers and
Yeah,
originals.
we're
So
still
stay tuned for
we
that.
still want to.
Be ready for it. A couple things before we wrap up. Um, that was one of the things I wanted to cover. There was something else I wanted to cover, and I just kind of steered off of what it was.
Sorry, I might have derailed that.
You probably
I
did, but it's
definitely
okay.
did.
We like to derail each other
We
on
do.
a fairly regular basis.
We
So,
definitely do.
um,
Keeps it interesting.
oh, I wanted to say that we had talked about last time some of the changes that were coming to the channel.
Yes.
One was removing like any of the talking before and after, and that the whole reason on the song that we did that is because we've had I wouldn't say complaints, but a lot of comments, maybe some bordering on complaints, that people like to playlist our songs.
Yes.
They like to put them in a playlist, like listen
Which
through.
is good for us.
Which is good for
We
us.
like
It
to do
actually, playlist is good, so playlist our songs. Um, However, what happens is if you add in an extra 20 or 30 seconds, it was killing us in two kinds of ways, I think, and maybe that's a little strong language, but it's like it was harming our channel in two
Mhm.
kinds of ways. The extra talking at the end, for one, people were resenting it or leaving it out of playlists because they'd have their favorite songs playing and then they'd have to hear
Then
30
there was talking,
seconds.
almost like an
You know,
advertisement busting
yeah,
in on your
15 or 30
song.
seconds. And
I
then,
get
of
it.
course, like, then YouTube busts in with their advertisements on top of it. So it's
Yes.
just one more thing. And if you want to playlist 15 or 20 of our songs, like some people say they have like a playlist of
Yeah.
all of our songs.
Yeah.
Then it becomes an issue because then after every song there's a talking section,
Yep.
And
Yep.
then in the other, that was the way that it was hurting the listener, that we felt like it was hurting the listener. And the way that it was hurting us was a lot of people that know us really well and they watch Shout It every week. After the music's over, they just click off.
Exactly.
And I can see that in
Yep.
the metrics. So
because we watch
whether
the analytics.
people will say
so.
that they don't do that, but the great majority of
A
people,
lot of people do.
were, and you can watch the
And I see
analytics,
it.
see the click
Yeah.
off. So we decided that without that there, and already in the first week, it's made a huge impact. Like our typical numbers on the first day, and we'll run you typically around 100 to 200 views the first day, but then over time, some of our videos go well into the thousands, some of them as high as 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 and up over time. So like it's not always about the first day. However, that being said, first day with this song, as I mentioned, it was our number one song that and I wouldn't even consider it like a a super popular song because it
Right.
was Fearless by Pink
Right.
Floyd, as we've discussed. It wasn't like we just did Sweet Home Alabama, which a million people want to listen to for
Right.
whatever reason. And we'll never do Sweet Home Alabama. But anyway,
Famous
you
last
know,
words.
so it already was number one out of the last 20 videos we launched, and it's already approaching 1,000 views in just 2 days.
Yeah.
So like we've already seen,
It
and the
feels like the
retention
algorithm
is
is pushing it a
longer.
little bit better.
The
Yeah.
subscriptions have been higher. So now granted, it's only been one song, so we've
Right.
committed to doing it. And I'm not saying that we're not going to change back. We may end up changing back,
You
but
know
we've
us.
committed to doing this new
Yeah.
format for 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, what we kind of hope for too is if we capture a really nice version of the song, then we can put it on Spotify as well and make it even more accessible if you want a playlist across different platforms. And with the talking in there, it almost makes it impossible to do that. So we're just trying to diversify just a little bit, and removing that from there helps us with that. So on that note, I know Wolfgang Ricky mentioned it in the comment on the actual shout out that he misses the shout out. Well, that's what this is for. We're still shouting out again to D Nort Guitars for our retro shout out of Fearless, and we forgot to do it this week because it was our first time doing it. But we will be putting who it's getting shouted out to in the body of words.
Mm-hmm. We can still do it. We'll still add it in, and
like under the video.
and
where
as
it
a live,
says
we've always offered the
details.
chat as like a pre-recorded, but now that it's live, we're going to one hopefully involve you guys a lot more. So we're looking forward to that. But then two, hopefully this will replace that chat section. So it's going to be a transition, and as the shout out evolved over the years and times, I think now that we've grown like the shout out section of it, the chat section, we would we would expect to be able to do the same thing. We just need to we will invest, finances into it,
Yeah.
and to make it right where you're looking at us at the beginning, you're not watching me walk up and try to fiddle with the camera and get it straight, things of that nature. We know how to do that, but at this point it's just a financial investment that if we're just going to try it for a few weeks and things aren't working
We're
out,
just not there yet.
then we're not going to, bet the farm on it at this point. But we are
like
so
the
far it's
farm.
looking good, and we like it, and we're having fun. It's been a lot of fun chatting tonight. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you guys last week. I know that
We're checking our connection. If you could still hear us, we're looking into it right now.
there. Move your arm. Okay, we got it. We got it back.
Are we back? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's a bit of a lag.
You're back.
Okay. Did you guys hear what we were saying, or was it just a visual that was frozen?
Strange. So I'm not sure what that was. So, anyways, we're back, and
I don't know
we
where we
are
left
wrapping
off.
it up, so that's good.
Well, did you guys get the code? I want to remind you of the code.
Did you guys get the code? So let me put it in. I'm going to put it in right here so you guys can see it
There
because
you
we are
go.
wrapping up.
I'm going to say it. So you can go sugarlimeblue.com, merch, tab, and you put in code LIVE112 when you check out, and that'll get you 15% off of whatever merch you want to purchase tonight. And Dave put that in the chat.
Yeah, put that in the chat. So we're getting ready to head out, but like I did ask you guys that question, I'm gonna tell you who it was. So,
also, he asked you, I'm not sure what you caught or not.
So
you want to make sure, like, what do you want to see? Leave it in the comments, please. What do you want to see in future? Do you want to see more cats? Do you want to see music trivia, which Dave will be in charge of? Do you want to see
giveaways? Is it the live music you want to see? What do you want to see in the live?
Do you like to get a little incentive for showing up, like a little something off the merch? What do you want? Let us know in the comments, not in the live chat. Those disappear for a while, so just put it in the comments.
You can't see them. We can't see them usually for like a day or so. So just if you could leave it in the comments, please.
After the video's done.
So the commonality is Tony Iommi and
Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia are both missing fingers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phil Keggy gets in there too.
Yeah, Phil Keggy gets in there too. Yeah. So, anyways. It's been great hanging out with you guys tonight.
Thanks for coming. As always, we're very grateful that you show up for our chats, for our shout outs. Just interacting with us means the world to us. Each comment means a lot to us. Thank you for being here. We're so grateful for you. Hope you are well in the next week, and we'll see you for the Sunday shout out this
And
week.
please join us again next Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna
We're
try it
gonna
again
do.
on Monday,
Yep, we're gonna
7
try this
Central
every
Time.
Monday at 7. So
Yeah.
set those alerts, and we'll try to get the link up there early this time so you can join in and have the YouTube sent you a reminder and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we'll get better.